Good morning, friends. Last class we have seen about some of the methodologies which most important, the training and visit system in Tamil Nadu, or not only Tamil Nadu, throughout the India. The how it's the training and visit system contributed in the technology delivery in the 80s. After the Green Revolution period over, the Department of Agriculture don't have a sufficient staff members and to deliver the technology. So on that time, the World Bank renovated expert, Daniel Werner, introduced a system called training and visit system. You may remember some of the key points which we are deliberated in the last class about the training and visit system. The training and visit system mostly complicate the agriculture officer and assistant agriculture officer are requested to go to visit the villages in routine way. Every day a group of villages, every week a group of villages he has to visit, and end of the week he have to deliberate what kind of understanding he gained from the farmer's perspective. That's what here the same thing to communicate it to the research wing of a department and also university. This is what training and visit system. Based upon the visit, they can identify what are the training need, not only for the farmers but also agriculture officers. So this kind of system has been placed in the during 80s, from the 80s to 90s. In the 90s, they found the difficult that they have some team merits. As we see now, last class we have seen about some of the team merits about the why the training and visit system has been very successful in the 10 years period. They came to understand some of the lacuna because this design, the training and visit system designed by the World Bank expert using their own experience in the developed countries. In developed countries, the training and visit system very successful. The same thing has been replicated in the developing countries, but it is some over the period it has some lacuna, identified some lacuna. So that's what the second after initially in 90s, the government of India, they want to shift their focus to abolish the training and visit system and take over. They want to introduce a new system called Prod-based extension system, shortly PBES. This system is the Prod-based name itself is indicate we include the prod area under agriculture. Earlier, so the Prod-based extension education system, that is called it is introduced under Tamil Nadu, government of Tamil Nadu. In the scheme is called Tamil Nadu Agriculture Development Project. Shortly we know as a TNADP. It is a very popular project. Once again is funded by the World Bank. The system has been introduced in Tamil Nadu from 1/4/1991. So the 10-year period from 80s to 90, the training and visit system has been placed to deliver the technology. From 1991 onwards, they remove the training and visit system, and the government of Tamil Nadu give an emphasis to Prod-based extension system. Tamil Nadu has entered into agreement with the World Bank through Government of India for 7 years from 1991. So this is also they have some lacuna later we can see, but initially they have 7 years, 91 to 97. 97 we have followed the Prod-based extension system for technology delivery. So why it is TNADP, under the TNADP, the Prod-based extension system has been introduced in Tamil Nadu. So what is the reason? Why? What's the felt need from the farmers, not only from the farmers but also from the department officials and extension worker? Why they need a Prod-based extension system? So mainly because the training and visit system consider farm family. Because I already seen the group of farmers. So the actually extension workers went to the villages and they have to see the group of farmers. Maybe mostly the lead farmers or mostly pig farmers. Only the group of farmers they will deal. So it is simply they are not considering about all other farmers. So they tell that so through the clientele farmers, through the pig farmers, the technology will diffuse to other farmers. So they merely consider the farm family, some of the limited number of farm family in the village, not about the crop, not about the area. So they based upon the farm family where they can have a contact with the farmers. In some villages they have a very good contact with the farmers, then they go and meet the farmers. But not some villages, they don't have a farmer, then they won't go to the particular village. That's what so they have, depending upon the contact they established, the village has been chosen, not based upon the crop, not based upon the area. So concentrate on the wetland, very important. So in Tamil Nadu, totally Tamil Nadu, the irrigated area is only the 18% or 24%, 18 to 24% is rolling around. So remaining 70% of the area is coming under the rainfall or dry land. So the training and visit system is mostly concentrating the wetland. Very importantly, the wetland have more crops in the per year. For example, if wetland, if they have a well or canal irrigation or tank irrigation, at least they cultivate the 2 crops. Sometimes they 3 crops. If they at least they cultivate the 2 crops, they can have 8 months in the 8 months, approximately 8 months. Any farmer can have in the field they have a crops. But in case of rainfall or dry land, they have only one season during the rainy season. So hardly 3 months or 4 months they have a crop. So for agriculture officers or extension workers, so they want to have a work, they want to visit more village per every week. No, that's what they want to select the wetland, because they have a number of crops are very high and they can able to visit the villages for a longer period. So only the concentration in the wetlands create other problem. They didn't pay attention to the rainfall area or dryland area. Another important is the no importance to horticulture, livestock and sericulture is very important. So when you are going to meet the farmers in the village, so the no farmers say that even though he says a farmer, he have agriculture, he has a horticulture, some crops, some vegetables, some fruit trees, and also some livestock animals, milch animals or sheep and goat, some dogs, and also some sericulture, all the units of forestry trees, some teak trees or something, neem trees and forestry, so complicated. So the farmers, what actually practice is the integrated approach. So not simply cultivating the paddy alone. So he have 5 acres of land, he can cultivate only 1 acre of land for the paddy. And the remaining 4 acres he may be cultivate the flower crops, or he may be cultivate vegetable crops, or he may be cultivated to the mango or guava, or some sericulture, or giving the feed fodder. And because this training and visit system promote only, as I already told, promote majorly on the food crop, concentrate majorly on the food crops. So they don't concentrate on the horticulture, livestock and sericulture. So for farmers, agriculture is everything. So the most important, because of this kind of problem identified to the training and visit system, then it is created need for another system. That's what the broad-based extension system has been introduced. Here they have integrated approaches. Through the broad-based extension system only, you may be studied in the agriculture agronomy about the integrated farming system. So in 1 acre they have a fish farm and also the poultry and seed industry and also paddy and everything put together, and the training, they have a integrated farming system. So integrated farming system approach has been introduced through the broad-based extension system, because the farmers may not concentrate only on agriculture, but also for the need of income for the longer period, the periodical income they need, so that the farmers accordingly they plan for the vegetable crops and 2 months crop, 3 months crop, 6 month crop, and long-term trees. So that's what the broad-based extension system has been introduced into Tamil Nadu. So another already we have seen now. So from 1991 to 1997. So only 7 years period or 8 years period, the contract with the World Bank through the Tamil Nadu Agriculture Development Project (TNADP). So the broad-based extension system has been introduced. So that's what after 1998, the government is forced to choose another extension model to reach the farmers better than the previous two system. That is a training and visit system and also broad-based extension system. So the present day system introduced Agriculture Technology Management Agency. This is a system So until now we are following. So the main purpose of the introducing Agriculture Technology Management Agency is, so it is the bottom-up approach. Because the farmers give a more role. So they have on to both the earlier system, the farmers don't have a voice. Only depending upon the officers, they go to the farmers field, they meet they discuss with the farmers, then they deliberate to the extension researcher. But in Atma, the farmers have rights to come to visit the university and also the agriculture department. They can say what they need. That is what the Atma by policy is introduced as a part of National Agriculture Technology Project, NATP, in 1998. Once the PPS is completed 1997, then 1998 the Atma has been introduced through the project National Agriculture Technology Project. So what is the main outline of the Atma? Integrating research and extension. So as I said, the farmers can able to visit. In Atma, it is a mandate for the department. They organize the farmers to take a study tour to the different state and also institution and also the leading farmers. They have to organize study tour. This give a very good exposure to the farmers to visiting different kind of ecological situation, different kind of institute and different kind of states. So they have a way for integrating the disparities between the research and extension. And also the second most important is a decentralizing management of technology transfer. In the planning stage, earlier we don't have a representative from the farmers, but in Atma it is registered as a society and it is a mandate farmers to become a member in the society. So in all the planning process, the farmers, they have a ability, they have a chance to say something about what they actually need. Before that, they entirely depending upon the mercy of the agriculture officer. Here, they themselves, they have to find a place in the forum to speak what actually they need. That's what decentralizing the management. And third, as I already told, it is a registered party and registered society, the members from all the department, not only agriculture and also from horticulture and also from agriculture and forestry and also the farmers producer company and farmers and self-help group, everybody, even entrepreneur, all are put together. So it has a wide spectrum of knowledge pool coming under a society that have a deliberation in the Atma. So the objective, as I said, it is a very simple. So based upon the overall is, so the quality has been improved through the very good strengthen the bond, the linkage between the research extension farmer through the decentralizing process. That is what is the most important. The salient features, the creating farmers advisory committee to improve feedback. This criteria, the farmers advisory committee is not existing before the broad-based extension system or training and visit system. Using NGO to organize a farmers group. Already you visited NGO in our practical class. They said no, they have organized farmers to motivate the organic farming. That's what using the NGO to organize a group is also another important. And not only NGO and also private sector participation, like Achi or Achi Masala or Sakti Masala or other agriculture-based, agro-based industries has been roped in to give exposure to the farmers. So this is the salient features which are actually, and also it is a in-service training. So the farmers will be provided with the training. So like in Kurumian Malay we have a Stamin, no? The Stamin and Samiti, they periodically provide training to the farmers. And it is also, as I said, is a part of planning. From the farmer's perspective, all the planning will be executed. So after that, this is another, it is Atma is still running the Agriculture Technology Information Center, ATIC. It is another concept promoted by the ICER, not by State Government, it is ICER. So what actually, the ATIC is established in the university, not a department. So every university, like at TNAU, we have ATIC center. So once the situation is normalized, we will visit our university and visit ATIC center in our main campus in Coimbatore. So ATIC is a single window delivery system to meet the farmers. So for here, all the experts from the agronomy to entomology, pathology, all experts are sitting together and solve the farmers' problem. and village institution, village linkage program. So there is a name itself in this. We have to establish the linkage between close contact between the both of them. So in summary, these are the aspects